Hey, what's going on, family? It's me, Niecy Denise. Where do I even begin? I'm on vacation. hmm Mm. If you guys haven't tried this brand, I'm not gonna recommend a bunch of different brands. I drink this one, and there's a another one. I can't think of the name of it. Coconut water, very very delicious and nutritious, and it has the electrolytes and stuff in it. I mean, it's some people might not like it because it is an acquired taste, but I'm gonna tell you, this is better than sodas or sweet tea and all that. I would recommend this more so than any of those things, right? So, mm, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's enjoying themselves this Sunday. I was over in Chief Red Wolf's lives earlier this morning. Shout out to you, big brother. We are eternally bonded. Um, I wanted to jump on here today. We're going to get back into a reading. It's been a minute since I've been on here. I'm going to be on vacation this week. Going to have our grandchildren, so I won't be doing that many lives. I won't be bombarding you guys' feed with live. But I am going to be on here a couple of times this week while I'm off, right? Just relaxing. I'm thinking about shaving my head and doing a mohawk, y'all. What do y'all think? I'm trying to just grab. I mean, it's like just killing me. I want my gray to come in because I was blonde. Then I was like a dark brown, almost black brown. And then I shaved my head off like 3 years ago and dyed it red. I had the braids, and I really want the braids, but I know that the chemicals that they put in that hair is not good for us. So I'm really on this natural health kick and in this journey. But I miss my braids, and I'll tell you, I miss having long hair now. Like I chopped all my hair off. I miss having to put my hair up in a ponytail and then having a top knot. So don't be surprised. You might see my ass in some braids in about 2 weeks. I'm just saying. I am gonna shave my head. My hair grows fast. I mean, I have to go to get it cut like every few weeks. I'm serious because my hair grows fast. And my one of my sisters, I have 5 sisters. One of them passed away. She's still my sister. She's just not in this material form. Shout out to my sister Tammy. Rest in power, sissy. Um, she was, I think she was the most beautiful one out of all of us. All my sisters are beautiful, y'all. I didn't get on here to talk about my sisters, but they're beautiful. I've had sisters with, I'm the darkest one, right? I've had sisters with blue eyes, with gray eyes, with green eyes, with hazel eyes. I mean, oh my God. And I ended up with dark brown and dark skin, but it's all good. But, my sisters are beautiful. And me growing up, I was always like, oh, I want to look like them when I grow up. And they're so beautiful. They're absolutely amazing. Beautiful bodies. That sister, she was a size fucking 2. I mean, well, at one time she was a 0. And then she got to a size 2 and she thought she was fat. I mean, that's when we were younger. I mean, she's losing weight now. She's actually on a healthy journey as well. So she's going to be like this big around in probably about another year. Her ass is going to be really tiny. She's beautiful, gorgeous. Lala. My sister's name. Well, there's Tijuana. Guessed it. My parents got married in Tijuana, and my mom got pregnant in Tijuana. So older sister's name is Tijuana. Tijuana, and then there's my big head brother Derry. Then there's Simone, and then Tammy, who's the one that passed away a couple of years ago. Rest in peace. She's still with us though. She's just not in the material plane. And then there's Lala, and then there's Tracy, and then there's me. So. Big family. So, I just think about how much we've all changed and grown over the years. Like my 2 oldest sisters, they've been married. I'm 56, and I want to say at least 40 years for both of them. They've been married. I'm serious. They got married young, but I mean, yeah, my sister's been married. I don't know. I would say 40 years at least. Damn near 38, 40 years for both of them. I'm serious. They've been married a long time. My brother-in-law is wonderful. We a multiracial family. Nobody's married to the same race. I'm just going to say that. So, so I have a beautiful blended family, and shout out to all my family members. Y'all know I'm the crazy auntie down here in Texas. Anyway, enough about me. How are y'all doing today, man? yeah, I'm surviving. I'm just gonna say that I'm thriving and surviving. I started my juicing journey, and I want to bring this up real quick before we get into reading. Juicing for beginners, excellent, excellent. Y'all, I'm gonna be blowing up y'all feeds over here on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and MeWe, and that other damn thing, other platform. I got like 7 platforms. I ordered a nut milk maker, and here's some recipes. This is what it looks like. I should have got up and brought it in here on camera so you could see it. I'm actually going to do a video, me making some almond milk, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that. But what I wanted to share with you guys is in this nut milk maker, right? Because, you know, I'll be on Facebook scrolling, and that's how they get you with all these damn ads. These people know how to get me on Insta. That's why I don't even go on Instagram. Instagram is just, and I told my husband I wasn't going to be shopping like that. But I will. There's one more thing that I do want to get. And my husband's going to see this video. I'm going to drop 800 racks, $800 on this damn juicer. I'm going to get that bad boy. That's like the juicer of, that's like the Rolls Royce of juicers. The Cuvings, I'm going to get that. The Auto 10 Plus, I think it's on sale for like $539. Cold press is where it's at. So what I want to share with you guys really quick about this thing is, okay, so the nut milk maker, you can make obviously milk, right? Homemade almond milk, cashew, coconut, hazelnut, walnut, okay? Oat milk, rice paste, check this out. Creamy corn chowder with Fresno chilies, homemade soy milk, homemade strawberry and banana smoothies. I'm going to post this recipe over here on Facebook where I'm doing a live right now. And then over on Instagram and on YouTube, I'm going to post it. I'm going to share these recipes with you guys because I love fruit. And like me and my husband, we went to HEB and then I also dropped in at Kroger's. And I'm telling you, we spent some racks on some fresh fruit. So I got to eat all of this fruit within the next 4 days. And I know it's the holy days are coming up. And of course, we're going to one of my son's house. He bought a house down the road, him and his wife, and going over there. But I am still going to be partaking in the juicing and really kind of pulling away. Shout out to Chief Red Wolf when he was talking about, I've got the book of the Becoming, the I Ching. And so I'm really going to be focusing on going within and just centering myself. Because I recognize the fact, and I'm saying this on camera, so as well as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself, right? Because I do go back and I do listen to my videos sometimes after I record them. As well as I'm talking to you guys and talking to myself, and that I have to hold myself accountable. Like when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't even see myself anymore because I look so different now, like as opposed to the way I used to look, right? And so I'm on this journey, right? And so, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it. And I'm just sharing things with you as I try them and I do things. I'm sharing them with you all just to give you an idea. So I think that nut milk maker was probably $100, $99 or something like that, 89 or 99. And you can do hots and then you could just do regular temperature, right? So what I wanted to share with you guys, what I thought was interesting before we do this read is, it's a short rib mushroom and cannellini soup that you can make in that nut milk maker. All right. And so I'm going to post this menu over here on Facebook, and on YouTube, I'll just upload it as a post so you guys can see it. And like I said, I'm in love with that damn thing. I made a cucumber and watermelon juice yesterday, and it was absolutely good. I mean, it took a couple of times. I had to run the cycle twice in order for it to really grind up everything. But, they say you can turn it on and walk away. Well, since it's new to me, I sat there. Obviously, you got to put it on a flat surface. But I stood there and watched it. And then I took a spoon and kind of took the top off and stirred it up, and then put the lid back on and ran it one more time. And it was like liquid when it came out. So I'm telling you that would be a good investment if you're on your health journey, right? I did buy some almonds today. We don't have to soak them. Okay. According to this book with that nut milk maker, I don't have to soak the almonds before making the milk. I did get some not figs. I got some dates and some vanilla extract and ground cinnamon. I have that to add to the almond milk because that's what I'm going to put in there. But I'm just going to try these things out. And I mean, if I find it that it's working for me and I'm really liking it and enjoying it, then I'm going to share some videos over on it. Okay. So this book, I would highly recommend, Juicing for Beginners. I have a bunch of juice books. There is another one. Let me get this one real quick, and then we're going to get into our reading. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know I'm all over the place, but I wanted to share this with you while I am doing this live. This one is called the Celery Juice Book. And there is a recipe with celery, green apples, and lime. That is so good, y'all. Okay. And then this one is celery, apple, and carrot juice right here. Very, very good. And of course, when you do your juicing, you want to buy organic stuff. I have really been trying to find organic stuff. Some of the fruit that I bought yesterday, or actually earlier today, was not organic, but I couldn't find it. And I mean, I'm trying. Maybe I was in the wrong section at the store. I tried to stay in the organic section, but they kind of intermingle the food, and I don't like when they do that, the fruits. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead, since we bought it, I'm going to eat it and use it. But I've really been trying to buy organic, and things are expensive. All right. So for fresh fruits and for a diet, or, you know, consumption, you're going to spend probably a couple of $200-$300 on fruit. I'm serious, and vegetables. But I mean, it's substance that your body needs, right? So, I mean, and then plus the coconut water when you purchase that in cases. So I'm just saying, it is expensive to eat. And, you know, we really need to be thankful about the things that we have here in the U.S. There are a lot of people that still have a problem with finding food and going to food pantries and just coming out this government shutdown and then having to go right into the holiday. And I'm going to come back on here. I don't have it in here with me. Damn it. Shout out to Squirrel Tribe. She was on a live stream yesterday, and she talked about getting prepared for the next 70 days. And I am going to reshare her video. Actually, I should reshare it over here on YouTube. I don't think I shared it on Facebook, but I printed off a list of preparedness that you can take to the grocery. And then the next 70 days, which is a month and a half, that you can stock up on extra things and have food in your pantry for at least 3 to 6 months. Okay. I'll drop that on the next video. All right. So enough of my chit chatter. I don't know how long I've been on here talking about this, but I wanted to just mention those things really quickly. So without any further ado, let's get into Guy Anderson's Rise of the Clones. All right. Because this is initially what I really wanted to talk to you guys about, was read. All right. Now, while I'm on vacation this week, I am going to finish up my research over the different clone facilities, the cloning companies, and then we're just going to go through a couple of them. All right. I just want to just share some interesting things that I found. And then also pull up some things. I think it was over on TikTok. So I'll share my laptop, and we're going to go log in, and we're just going to look at a couple of videos. I want to screen share a couple of things because I find this stuff interesting. Like, some of you will say, oh my God, you're really stretching with this one. You're reaching with this. It's not, you know, it's a conspiracy. Okay. What's the difference between a conspiracy and the truth? Time, baby. Time. All right. Chapter 8. It's called Inbreeding. All right. And we're, again, you want to take a snapshot of this book? Rise of the Clones, the Cabbage Patch Babies, Guy Anderson. We now know how important bloodlines are to royalty, as well as those with great power, and has been, as far as we are aware, since the time of the Egyptian pharaohs and its Persian dynasty, thus retaining their power and to ensure that it remained firmly within their families. All right. What we have not really discussed, and I may deep dive in this at some point. I know that I am. Black nobility. Shout out to Fabrice Snow. He's done some excellent work over there on that. And also Mind Unveiled did an excellent video that I'm going to reshare over here on YouTube and over on Facebook, of the new movie called Him, Him, and the symbolism and them jabbing at the secret societies and all of Hollywood with their pedophilia and their bloodlust drinking, achrome, you know what that is, what they do, all right, and how they break in, like Justin Bieber and Usher and all these other ones. I stopped following Hollywood. I don't pay attention to anything that they got going on. And when I see so-called, quote unquote, for this video, I'm going to say black people in their feelings about these movie stars and these entertainers and these sports icons or figures. I just shake my head because I'm like, you so lost. You're lost. I don't focus my energy into bullshit like that, right? I like to learn. I like to watch documentaries. I do crochet. I do crafts. And I like to research and look at things that catch my attention that most people will miss, right? And so when I see people still following in this mindset of Hollywood and going to concerts and sporting events, I'm just looking at them people and just going, I don't care family or no family. Y'all just lost. Y'all are. Y'all really have no idea what this is, who we are, what we possess, and more importantly, how the hell to get out of here. Because you've been in this incarnation cycle. You've been stuck here for a while. And you know, my job is for me to get the hell out of here. But if I can share some information with a few of you and you all go do your research and you understand, if you have the eyes to see it and the ears to hear it, then you're going to understand what I'm saying. All these other people out here and all this other BS, I'm just going to simply say it is what it is. I don't have time for that. I can't see somebody popped up, but I can't tell who it is. Hey, how are you? Happy Sunday. So, my thing is when I see people like that, I kind of separate myself. And I'm going to say this one more time, and I'm going to get back into this reading so we can get through this. You got to be in the world, but not of the world. Again, you got to be in the world, but not of the world. And that's a challenge to do. And I'm going to tell you, because I ain't perfect. I'm not going to sit up here in the video and lie to y'all. I know my ass is far from perfect. Okay. I got issues. I do, like everybody else. I'm admitting my fault. I mean, I ain't got to tell you everything, but I'm just telling you, I have issues. I'm serious, and I'm not perfect. But every day that I wake up, I try my damnedest to not make the same mistakes I did before. And I attempt to do better than the day before. I attempt to put my best foot forward and to do what I got to do. That's just it. That's it. So let's get back into this. Let's knock this out. All right. So what I was talking about with the Egyptian pharaohs and the Persian dynasty and how the powers, they breed within the family. There's a lot of inbreeding going on. Right. And they got this from those who came beyond the ice walls, the interdimensional beings. I call them Anunnaki. I call them reptilian. They all intermix, these other beings, these other dimensional beings, right? The Lyrians, all these Maldekians, the Palladians, all these different factions of beings, okay? What I'm trying to simply tell you is there is a dark-skinned nobility, all right? We're seeing on TV this image that they're putting out. No pun intended for my light-skinned brothers and sisters. Y'all know I don't do the crayon colors white. You're not white, okay? You're not the color of this, okay? You are a pinkish, pale, sometimes red, sometimes yellow, sometimes green, sometimes blue color, all right? I'm just telling you. And that's okay, because like I said, I have a lot of that in my family, and my grandfather was that way. I'm not going to call you something that you're not, because I don't have color dysmorphia, all right? And that's truly what it is. Shout out to Flurburn when she was talking about that. A lot of people are indoctrinated and stuck on this black and white thing. And it infuriates me that the melanated people can't step away from the crayon color bullshit, this indoctrination that this system has laid down to you guys. And y'all still accept the bullshit. That's why I have a hard time relating to average people, because my mind doesn't think the way yours does. And I'm not saying I'm any better than you. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just simply saying I see things from a different perspective. And I can't be around stupid ass people. And the reason why I say stupid is because if you logically analyze this shit, if you logically sit down and you look at every single continent, every single government, there's one common entity in all of these beings. Like I was telling my husband, we was going to the grocery store this morning. The melanated people are the reason why our world is the way it is. I'm going to say it one more time. So-called melanated, and for you guys who still consider yourselves black, y'all are the problem. Y'all are the problem. You are the problem. And I'm going to tell you why you're the problem. Because you believe in a system of lies that was placed upon us I still have people saying that, oh, my family grew up on a plantation and we were slaves. No, the hell we were not. We were never slaves. We have always been prisoners of war. And it started out with these melanated people all around the world, in every single continent during the time of Tartary. All right. And I'm not talking about the other resets. I'm just talking about this last one that happened 300 something years ago, 350 years ago. And we've been fighting these bastards ever since they got off the boat to come over here and infiltrate this land. I mean, I know my message ain't popular, but for those of you who can hear and do the research, you'll see what I'm saying. I'm just being honest with you. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a group of melanated people, the black nobility, the black boule, so-called Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and all these other Andrew Tate and all these other mofos out there running their mouth who are supposed to be educated, done pledge in these damn fraternities and the sisters in the sororities. They run around here making 6-7 figures a year. They doing public engagements, the sports icons, the entertainers, all these people, politicians. They the damn problem. And if you can't see that, then you don't need to be even watching my channel. You don't need to be you just need to unfriend me. I'm just telling you. I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong, and stupidity is it is. I'm just telling you. Once I make a few more videos, I'm gonna be off these platforms because I can't deal with it. I mean, when I look at our people, I just look at how stupid they are. The more educated you become, the more stupid you are, the more ignorant you are, because you're so blinded in this lie that these Zionists have created and these Bolsheviks have created, these Khazars. They were created. They were created. These beings were created. This other race of people were created and set a seed on this planet, in this dome, this plane of existence, to put a boot on our neck. And a lot of these so-called light-skinned people running around here with O positive, O negative blood, they come from us. They are autochthonous. Okay? You're melanated. Let me just say it for the video. Your ass is black. You got some black in you. Just gonna tell you. And I can't for the life of me see why people have a problem with that. So yeah, I'm calling all these black bastards out. I'm in rare performance today. It is what it is. The reason why this shit happened is because of these Negroes, these black individuals. And for the record, I am not black. Black means dead. Black means pale or bleak. I'm not pale and I'm not bleak and I'm not dead. I'm a autochthonous. All right. For the video and for the record. So if you call me black, that's an insult. It's an insult. And you're going to get your ass fired up. So be careful when you tread me, when you come my way and you tread me. And that's family and no family. Don't associate me like that. Don't call me black. I'm not black. I know what the hell it is. I know what it means. So that's a derogatory term. All right. Derogatory term. So the reason why things are the way they are is because of this melanated, this black nobility. All right. Because who do you think's pulling on the strings? So they're pushing this agenda on TV and on Hollywood and all this narrative, all these politicians. All you see is these people. All you see is these people in office that are light skinned people, pale skin, video, white. All you see is these people on TV, but what you don't see is the dark skinned people running these people. And they'll never tell you that. And I'm just going to be honest with you. And once you start to understand certain things, you'll start to see the narrative. All right. That's what I'm going to tell you. So right now we're being pushed with the king and queen over there, the royal family, the lizards. Okay. The quote unquote light skinned people, the quote unquote pale skinned people. They're not the true nobility. The true nobility is the autochthonous. They're dark skinned. All right. Just for the record. And I don't care who gets upset. I don't care who sees this video. You want to fact check me, baby? Let's bring it. You want to message me through Messenger and call me up so we can have a conversation, because I've got books, chapters, volumes, verses, all that shit. I can pull up laws on the books for my cousin who told me to take a civics class. All right. I can pull that shit up and show you in no uncertain terms. I'm not just going to come on here and talk out the side of my neck. Truly, I tell you, you all have been hoodwinked. And that's real talk. So, in fact, they would like to take this philosophy to the extreme by even marrying their siblings, their mothers, their fathers, their daughters, and sons. Where do you think we got this shit from? I'm going to tell you. It's inbreeding, all right? And it started long ago with these things that they created in these caves that came out the Caucasus Mountains. And I'm not talking about all of y'all, because I love my light-skinned brothers and sisters. It's only a certain few of you that is like that. Not all of y'all like that. And I already know that because you're in my family. I know, all right? I'm talking about a certain breed, certain class, all right? Today, many of us believe that the pedigree of a dog, for example, is important enough to justify it to retain specific features, but it also comes with huge health implications too. Although inbreeding is not directly linked to the main focus of this book, I do believe that it plays an important role in why the so-called elite or parasites see us as being beneath them. In fact, I would go as far as to say as they see themselves to be almost a different species altogether. And some of them are. Okay, you got the lizards. I told you there's like 9 different races of them. It's actually more, but I'm just telling you the class of ones that I researched, I know off the top there's 9. Okay, so then you got that, and then you've got the other species. I'm telling you. I mean, people are going to have a hard time wrapping their mind around just the fact that there are extraterrestrials. I don't even call them. They're not extraterrestrials. They was here before us. Okay. The reptilians have been here and they've been conquering worlds for a long fucking time, people. Y'all just got to get up out your feelings. I'm just telling you. Everything you've been taught is a lie. And you need to rip the Band-Aid off. Hi, but damn, if you're going to watch my videos, you're going to rip the Band-Aid off. Like my husband told me today. Damn, we took a car trip up to Dallas, it's 4 hours. Boy, you could bring me up to speed and educate my ass. And my sons, they always call me now, they call me sociology and history teacher. I'm like, no, it's not that. I just fucking read and I understand what I'm reading. I'm just telling you. So it started long ago with these entities and they've done it for a long time. So where do you think that these things, these Khazars, get this shit from? Because really what you're looking at is you're looking at a mixture of all these different factions of people. They have our bloodline in them. Somewhere far, far back, a long time ago, but it's been breeded out. All right, I'm just telling you. Straight hair, pale skin is an anomaly. It's a genetic mutation. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that because I love my light-skinned brothers and sisters. It's not that. I'm just telling you, it is a genetic anomaly. It's a defect. It really is. And if you look it up and you start studying it, you would know that. So they believe that they are above us and they see us as useless eaters. I'm just going to tell you. Because you're dealing with something that's not human or non-human entities on top of that. Like they're so far removed from us that I'm just, and most people don't see it. And I mean, they hide behind a religion that started off with Christianity long ago, and then it's morphed into something else. All right. Zionism. All right. Is really nationalism, but it started with Christianity. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, for those of you who disagree, call me. I can lay it out for you and we can go book, chapter, verse. So these things want to keep it in the family. They will marry their offspring. All right. And that's what happens with the sickness. All right. That's why you see a lot of these so-called black hats that look like pilgrims and other things walking around here. I ain't going to say it on this video because I know they're going to flag it. I'll just say with the little curls and the hat, walking around dancing and saying slick shit. Those people up in New York that, was on TV and on social media about finding tunnels underneath their what? Those people. All right. I'm going to say it like that. And for anybody who hasn't read the Talmud, I'm just going to tell you, you got to have a strong stomach. And anybody who does a circumcision on a child and takes the foreskin of that said infant and does stuff with it has a problem and cleans the skin with their mouth. That's a sickness. I don't care what you say. That is a damn sickness. I don't agree with none of that shit. Not a baby. No, that is a sickness. I'm going to say it one more time for the video. Anybody who believes in that shit and who supports them, you really need to go do your research. You really need to understand. Not all of them are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a select few in that group up in the high levels in the ranks that do some foul shit. And that's in every religion. But more importantly, those are the ones who are running this planet right now. And if you guys can't see that, y'all got bigger problems than what you think. So they don't consider themselves human. They consider themselves to be a different species altogether. I also believe that possible cloning of humans after the reset in 1776 is what he says. All right. 1776, a lot of stuff did happen. But I'm going to tell you, based on the research that I've done and reading with Claudio's stuff and even some Sumerian texts and some things like that delve older, I could tell you that this last reset was in the 1700s. It started like in the 1720s, right? And it went all the way up for 50 years to what he's saying in 1776, all right? When it really started unaliving millions of people. I'm just telling you. So we've been at war for a very long time, y'all. And the majority of people are asleep. They don't know the truth of history because they're going based on what the educational, quote unquote, Rockefellers and these other entities have put together and set in stone. And so everybody's walking around here like they hot shit, but they really don't know the truth of history. And they really don't know who they are, where they come from. And there's a certain group of people that really need to take their ass back to the damn mountains over there in the Caucasus Mountains. Not all of my people, not all my light-skinned peoples, but some of these bastards running around here pretending to be something they're not. They need to get up off our soil. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's going to come down to that. It's coming. It's coming. That's why they got the Mossad and they got these little sleeper agents and all these people watching us on the platforms and shit like that. It's going to pop off. It's going to happen. And like Chief said, he going to be seeing you. Because there are things that walk among us that are not human. And I'm just going to leave that alone. For this video, I'm going to say, if you know, you know. There are things that walk among us that look human, that are not human, that are waiting for that specific call to do what they need to do. And it ain't going to be pretty for those who think that they're getting away with a certain agenda. They're going to be unalived as well. See, the enemy utilizes you the way they see fit. And then once they're done with you, you're going to be unalived just like millions of other people. I'm just going to tell you. So we're dealing with a sickness and a disease that's on this planet. So the reset of 1776 really kind of put the nail in the coffin, right? For this last reset. So the reason behind this, we are easily produced and easily destroyed. And it's what he's talking about. He's talking about the clones. Okay. There are a lot of people walking around who are clones and don't know that they're clones. Like I said, they can have babies. And I'm going to prove it to you by when I show you what I'm going to show you on my laptop. All right. So it says, with regards to inbred people, we have all heard stories and seen many movies that portray families cut off from society that have chosen to perform acts of incest just to survive. Like Wrong Turn and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yet today, there are thousands of pets out there that are the direct result of this rather unusual and concerning practice. Those that specifically want to have a purebred see it as a huge importance without considering the implications it can cause their beloved pet. Inbreeding in dogs can lead to several health and behavioral problems, as it does in humans. And that's why you got psychopaths running the world, because the majority of these people out here are related. Their bloodlines are intermingled. That's why you see all these people and these politicians in these seats of power. Then that little 7-year-old, 8-year-old girl did a presentation on how all the U.S. presidents were related since the fall of Tartary and since before the fall of Tartary. I'm going to tell you. So do your research. It don't take a civics degree to do that. You can do your research. So it says, inbreeding in dogs can lead to several health and behavioral problems, including an increase in the risk of inheriting recessive genetic diseases. When closely related dogs breed, harmful genes that are normally hidden can become more likely to manifest in the offspring. Conditions like hip dysplasia, heart problems, and certain types of cancers are more common in inbred dogs than they may be with a weaker immune systems. Also have weaker immune systems, right? It says this can lead to an increased susceptibility to infections and illnesses, right? Inbreeding dogs can also result in behavioral problems, including anxiety, aggression, and fearfulness, or being a damn psychopath. I'm just going to tell you. That's with dogs. But think what it's going to do to humans, what they've done to humans. All right? Man and mankind. All right? There's a difference. There's a difference. So you have these behavioral problems, you have anxiety, you have a lot of health problems, genetic problems. This is because genetic diversity plays a role in the development of temperament and emotional stability. In some cases, it can lead to congenital defects and physical deformities, all right, like the Darrow who come up from underground. Shout out to Fleurburn. These Darrow-like children, and they have to have their children. That's why you see a lot of these children that disappear, because they take them underground. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's a whole world underground. Multiple civilizations are underground. And there's a prince that lives underground. I'm just going to say that. So it says, in some cases, it can lead to congenital defects, physical deformities such as shortened lifespans, malformed limbs, or impaired vision and hearing. And finally, inbred dogs may experience fertility problems leading to difficulties in reproduction or complications during pregnancy. What do you think they harvest human organs and tissues from? Where do you think they do it? From melanated people, most definitely. And they look for a certain bloodline too. They'll tell you. But it's the melanin. The gold is in the melanin. Okay. Animals that inbred often do so as a result of living in captivity and actually start to decrease in size, which is known as inbreeding depression. We have 23 pairs of chromosomes in most of our cells, one pair from mom and one pair from dad. These determine blood type, eye color, height, build, and even dimples. Within each of the chromosomes, it sits specific information, and we call these genes. When inbreeding occurs, it may well be that both parents could be carrying the same recessive gene, like cystic fibrosis, for example. Therefore, the chances of a deformation or increase are significantly, okay? The WHO, who's also ran by these bastards, all right? The World Health Organization, who I enthusiastically despise, yeah, I do too, states that the first cousin unions double the risk of neonatal and childhood death. No shit, because most of them are inbred bastards. Mm-hmm. If you think the government really loves you, you're stupid. If you think these politicians really care about you, you're fucking stupid. If you really think, when it all comes down to it, that the government is really going to be there to help the United States, quote unquote, citizens, all right, and put it that way for this video, you're stupid. You're stupid. Coming over here on this land and doing the shit that they did over 300-400 years, what do you think is going to happen now? That's why I'm only talking to a few of y'all. Only a small percentage of y'all are really going to get this video. I mean, I'm serious. It's sad, but it's really true. There's only a small percentage of y'all is really going to understand what I'm saying. These politicians and these government officials and this organization, they don't care nothing about us. I'm just going to be honest with you. They don't. And you can tell by their actions. Everybody wants something for nothing. Everybody wants to charge you for something. Everybody wants to take something from you, right? And they want you to be deaf, dumb, blind, and stupid. And the majority of people here in America, we are that. A lot of people walking around here just don't get it, and they will have a hard time. They will come unglued when all this shit happens. Actually, I'm waiting. I'm just like, let's just get it over with. I mean, literally, what are we doing? We're killing ourselves. We're wasting time. Like, I know this is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. I've seen it in my dreams too many times. Like Chief Robo says, when he sleeps, he has the same dream over and over. Me too. I have the same thing, and it's like I can't get away from it. So I've just come to the point where I accept it now, right? So I know my time is limited and my time is short in this vessel, in this temporal form that you see me in, but I know I live on forever. I already know that. I already know I'm an infinite being, as are you, right? So it's sad that the majority of people just can't wrap their head around the information and make heads or tails of it. So these organizations are set up in key positions of power with these individuals placing it for a particular purpose. And it's not for the betterment of us. Okay. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It's just not. So, like he says in the book, he says, however, as I mentioned at the beginning of the chapter, members of the royalty have taken this to a whole other level. They do sleep together. They marry each other. The brothers and sisters have children. I'm just telling you, the fathers and daughters have kids. I mean, it's been going on for a millennia. It's been going on for a long time because they got this gene and this knowledge and this particular lifestyle from these entities. Okay. And I'm just telling you, it's been inbred into them. So this is what they do. So it says, perhaps the first ruler to be born with significant abnormalities due to inbreeding was the Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun, who was born with a cleft palate, club foot, and various health issues. All right. Undoubtedly, a direct result of his father Akhenaten marrying the reproducing with his own sister, all right, known as Eadily as the younger lady. King Tut also had a curved spine, and his mummified remains show numerous fractures along with the traces of malaria. However, what isn't commonly acknowledged is that King Tut married his half sister, okay, Akhenaten, Ankhenamun, okay? And they had two children. Both died shortly after their birth and are known as the mummies 317A and 317B, okay? Ankhenamun. So Akhenaten married his sister. But I'm going to tell you, mainstream academia, and this is what you're just going to have to do your research. Don't take my word for it. They're going to tell you certain aspects of certain things because they have a narrative. When you understand that these beings back then were not completely mankindish, that they were something else, all right? And if you want to say reptilian, you want to say Lyrian, you want to say Maldekian, you want to say Atlantean, whatever, I'm going to just tell you, yes, they did inbreeding. They did a lot of it. Okay. And I mean, it says it in Sumerian text. It just does. So there's no way around that. So when you have that back then at this period of time, what do you think's happening right now? It's continuing. All right. So it says, next up is Cleopatra. Her father was Ptolemy #7, Euletes, and I'm murdering his name. And whilst his mother's identity is not definitively known, most scholars believe she may have been his father's sister. To further consolidate her power, she married her two youngest brothers. Okay. Her two youngest brothers, as typical in the Ptolemaic royal traditions. Okay. She later formed famous romantic and political alliances with Julius Caesar, okay, and Mark Antony. Neither of them were blood relatives, both of which had significant political and historical ramifications. And we're led to believe that these characters, based on them rewriting history, we're led to believe that these characters were light skinned or pale skinned. They weren't. They were melanated. All right. I'm gonna tell you. Excuse me. They were Negro. All right. For this video, niggas. All right. They were dark skinned. They were melanated. And I'm telling you, the reason why things are the way they are is a multitude of reasons, but I'm just going to tell you. The reason why they're the way they are is because of the melanated people, black nobility, all right? The ones that kicked this shit off, the ones that created this barrier in agreement with these other entities, these reptilians, to set up this wall around this known land, all right? Because before the fall of Tartary, this ice wall was not here. They're going to tell you that this ice wall was created millions and millions and millions of years ago. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was probably like about 400 years ago, 350 to 400 years ago, this wall came up. And I know a lot of you are going to have a hard time. You're going to say that's bull crap. It's fantastic. Whatever. I ain't here to argue with you. You ain't got to watch my shit. You can keep scrolling. I'm just telling you. If you know, you know. So my thing is Once you realize what the hell these bastards have been doing, it's like you don't have no choice but to work on yourself and get the hell out of here. And if you die before you die, you will never die. You got to die to this world. You got to give up everything. You got to forget about all this shit that you've acquired and the relationships and the people. Yes, you love your family, but at the same time, you got to understand that when you leave this vessel, you're going to be in that tunnel of light. And like I've had this conversation with my son Jordan many times. He said, Mama, I ain't going towards the tunnel. But I told him the other day, boy, if you see my ass standing in the tunnel and you hear my voice and me telling you, come on, don't come. You go the opposite direction. It is not me. I will not tell you to come towards the light. I will not tell you to do anything like that. You're a grown man. You have to make your own mind up and make your choices. But don't let them fool you thinking that it's me that you're walking towards or you're coming towards. All right. I'm just going to tell you. So you have to put everything to death and you have to give up and you have to, how is this the easiest way for me to say? You have to let go of everything you've been taught. You have to really let go of everything you've been taught in order for you to really build upon foundation. And the foundation out here, God's word is my foundation. If it is, then you would be fasting and you would be meditating. You wouldn't be eating meat and you wouldn't be partaking in all this bullshit. You wouldn't be. You would live a different life and you would be a different person altogether. And like I said, the more I study and the more I fast, the more I pray, the more it's coming down for me to get off these damn platforms. I'm not going to be doing these videos too much longer, y'all. I'm just not. For what? I was leaving a trail for breadcrumbs for my grandkids. And I think once I finish reading a couple more books, I'm done. I'm done because literally the more work you do on yourself internally, the more you pull back from the world. And this is not important to me anymore. I love you guys. We are eternally bonded, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm doing the work and I mean, the more work you do on yourself, the less time you have to get caught up in what's going on with the world. Yeah, well, I check in and share information with you guys. Yes, but once you start to see it for what it is, your whole dynamic changes. I'm just going to tell you. So this is the last part right here. So she did all this and she built these historical ties with these men, right? You know this. So it says, now look back at King Philip IV of Spain, whose portrait is featured in chapter 3 alongside his doppelganger, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. And again, Guy is going on based on what has been painted and what's been shown out here. But what I'm simply telling you is, if you do your research, you will see that all of these paintings and all these people they put in front of us, especially his textbook, all of them been whitewashed. They were all nothing but Negro. They were all dark-skinned, melanated people. And if you know that, you know that. People all around the world know the truth. But when it comes to us here in America, we accept this narrative. And even in Great Britain, it's truly, I say to you that, and I'm not saying it to be mean, white people, y'all weren't here these last 400 years. You weren't in the numbers that you are now. And that's okay. But knowing what you know, when me telling you this, do your research, go figure this shit out for yourself. It's going to piss you off because you've been used. You are given a fake identity and you've been told that you have this great white superiority and that you created all this shit and you did all this shit when y'all didn't do shit. I'm not being mean when I say that. I'm being humbly honest. Y'all didn't do shit. It's not your fault that you got caught up in this bullshit. As a matter of fact, if I was you, I'd be pretty fucking pissed right now. I'd be angry because your life is a lie. Like, where did you come from for real? That's why I keep telling y'all, do your damn genealogy. If you don't know your blood type, for example, you got RH blood type. All right, we know you're rhesus monkey gene, whatever. I'm just going to tell you, but you got to do your genealogy to see where you came from. And I'm going to tell you, if you've got a B or AB or O positive or O negative bloodline, you got a thotiness in your veins. You are melanated. You are completely coming from a bloodline of dark-skinned black people for the video. I'm telling you. So I would be pissed off if I was you because y'all been used. And these Khazars, these light-skinned, reptilian-loving bastards have been using all of us. But more importantly, they're using these dumb racists and they're pitting us against one another when we really need to be coming together and figuring this shit out and really understanding this shit, the truth, and then understanding what's about to transpire. Because everybody thinks, oh, this is going to pass over, it's going to be fine. No, another shutdown is coming, y'all, right after the fucking holidays. Watch what I tell you. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I don't know every damn thing, but I'm telling you, the writing is on the damn wall. They're not done yet. They're just getting started. COVID was a test. This damn identity shit, this real ID, which we've had for a long time here in Texas since like 2016. But the digital footprint, the what do you call it? The social credit score, and being able to have a passport and all this shit, everything's going to be tied in digitally. You will not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark, which is these cell phones and us being tapped in digitally with a cashless society. It's coming. It's coming. So my point is, when you see King Philip of Spain, you see his portrait with the doppelganger of Mark Zuckerberg, who's a reptilian. All right, he's in a skin suit. Really and truly, I'm telling you, those rules were niggas. I'm just going to tell you. Sorry if I'm offending you, but I'm being honest with you. So Philip Habsburg came from a long line of inbreeding, and they considered this vital to maintain their power throughout Europe and the Americas. On the 7th of October 1649, he married his niece, who was, they're going to paint it as a white person, but I'm telling you, he was melanated. All right. Maria Anna, later to become known as Mariana of Austria. Philip was just 44 years old, and his bride was 14 years old. Same thing with my great-great-great-great-grandfather and my great-great-great-grandmother 4 times removed. She was 15 and he was damn 30. And I have the freaking records to prove it. He had kids with her. That's how my lineage came about. I'm just telling you. I pulled the records. I paid for them. Anyway, only 2 of these 14 children survived, and his eldest living son, Charles II, was nicknamed the Bewitched on account of his appearance. All right. He had what is commonly known as Habsburg's jaw, which is a severe underbite, and contributed to him not being able to speak until he was 4 years old. Even then, it was difficult to understand him. Charles was unable to walk until he reached 8, constantly drooled, and suffered with severe mental health issues. In later life, insanity claimed his mind. He even started demanding that the dead bodies of his family be exhumed so he could view their corpses. I'm just telling you. So you're thinking that it's these light-skinned, pale-skinned people that are in the royal family right now. It's because of the perception, the deception of the perception. All right, the deception. But it's not. They were melanated people. That, when I learned that out, that really pissed me the hell off. It did. It really made me angry because they're the reasons why the things are the way they are right now. And then you've got these other things who are experiments were put in position of power, and they done gone just full throttle on this shit. They done lost they got daggone minds. When finally he died at age 38, okay, this is Charles now, the one that was drooling and had the bite jaw and deformity and crazy shit going on in his head. He died at 38. The autopsy stated that his body didn't contain a single drop of blood. His heart was the size of a peppercorn. His lungs were corroded. His intestines rotten and gangrenous, and his head was full of water. Oh, and finally, he only had 1 testicle, and it was black as coal. That's because he was a Negro. I'm going to tell you. His sister, Margaret, didn't suffer quite as badly, but died from ill health at only 21 years old. Neither had any children, and so without a successor to the throne, the Habsburg dynasty ended in the 1700s. All right, here we go. The last member of royalty I am including in what could be a book all of in itself is Alexei Romanov, or Alex Romanov, grandson of Queen Victoria and the youngest child of the Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra. He was born with hemophilia, a genetic disorder that impairs the blood's ability to clot. This condition led to frequent and sometimes severe internal bleeding, which over time caused physical deformities and limitations in his movement. All right. Hemophilia is a hereditary disorder that is X-linked, meaning it typically affects males as they only have one X chromosome. Since the Tsarina Alexandra was a carrier of the gene, she inherited that from her mother, Queen Victoria. Alexei inherited the condition too. The disease causes spontaneous bleeding in episodes, even from minor injuries, and internal bleeding can occur without visible trauma. All right. Alexei had no outward physical deformities as a result of this, but the condition severely affected his ability to move and lead a normal life. He often suffered from joint deformities, especially in his knees, due to the repeated bleeding into his joints, which caused pain, swelling, and limited mobility. As a young child, Alexei was known to experience these episodes frequently, which could result in severe bruising, pain, temporary loss of mobility. His weakness and joint problems were sometimes interpreted as deformities due to the chronic nature of his condition. All right. His condition also had significant impact on the family, especially to Serena Alexandra, who was deeply devoted to her son's well-being. The family kept Alexei's condition secret from the public, and the royal court maintained a level of isolation around the young heir to avoid any potential scandal or gossip. I'm going to tell you, they had this shit on lock. Grigory Rasputin, the mystic and confidant to the royal family, became involved with Alexei's care because of his perpetuated ability to alleviate the pain and bleeding episodes associated with hemophilia. Rasputin's influence over the royal family, particularly Tsarina Alexandra, grew as he appeared to help stabilize Alexei's health during bleeding episodes, further entangling him in the royal family political and personal life. This is a picture of Rasputin, and I'm going to tell you, he looks to me like a Khazarian. I'll tell you. Today, the most inbred person alive, as far as we know, is Kimberly Colt. In 2012, okay, on a farm in Australia that lies 4 hours south of Sydney, the police were called following reports of a putrid smell of urine and human feces. Upon arrival, they found 20 rabid dogs that nobody would claim ownership of, followed by 7 siblings who appeared to be extremely inbred. These siblings had children of their own, and they were more clearly more inbred than their parents. Moreover, some of these children also had children. The police decided to take the family in for questioning, and slowly but surely, their story started to unravel. The Colts go back to marriage of Tim and June, born 1946 and 1948, respectively. Coming off the boat, coming over here, I'm telling you. June's parents were brother and sister. However, it remains unknown if Tim was ever aware of this. Ultimately, because Tim and June, both deceased several years prior to the police arrest, were not related, their 7 children were only half as inbred as their mother. All right. The couple's eldest child, Rhonda, was unmarried, but had 6 children, ages between 41 and 15 years old, making her only 15 when she first gave birth. Rhonda's 2 sisters, Martha and Betty, communicated quite freely with the police. In fact, Martha stated several times that she was her father's favorite. At 18, she fell pregnant and went on to have a further 4 children by him, her father. And Betty also had children with her father, and DNA testing confirmed that 5 of her 12 children were fathered by Tim, her father. In fact, when the police first entered the farmhouse, they found Betty and her brother Frank doing something inappropriate with Petra, one of her younger daughters. Frank was actually detained for this and kept saying during his arrest that he didn't understand what he had done was wrong, especially considering that his own father had done the very same thing with Frank's siblings. So it was a learned behavior. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all understand what I just read? He didn't understand what he did wrong. He was asking the police, his daddy did it, so why is it wrong for me? Moreover, when Betty was interviewed She confessed to something that her daughters had told her years earlier, involving her brothers. I suggest searching on the internet to find out exactly what this was, as I cannot and do not want to include it within this book. All right. So y'all need to go research the Colt family, Kimberly Colt, and then Betty Colt and Rhonda. You need to go research that family. All right. And find out what specifically that happened. And I may talk about that when we do the clones. Another of Betty's daughters, Tammy, had 3 children fathered by her brother, Derek, who had started to sexualize her at only 12 years old. The youngest of their children died directly as a result of inbreeding. The 2 that survived were incredibly frail and unwell. However, the most disgusting part of the sorry story comes from the great-granddaughter, Kimberly. During her interview, she claimed that her father was a backpacker from Sweden. However, the results from her DNA test confirmed that she had the same father as her mother and her grandmother, Betty. Therefore, her grandfather was Tim, who at the same time was her father and her great-grandfather too. Y'all get that shit? Many people believe that Tim must have been fully responsible for what had gone on that farm, possibly forcing the children and their children into these acts of depravity. Yet interviews with the Colt grandchildren actually implicated their mother, Betty, of being her father's accomplice, often encouraging her children to carry out these vile actions. She also forbid them from seeking medical attention or advice, both during pregnancy and childbirth, forcing them to deliver their babies alone. Martha's youngest son, Carl, couldn't walk, talk, or even read despite being 19 years old. His older brother had a routine infections and difficulties hearing and reading, and her daughters, despite being sexually active, were all unable to conceive, thankfully for all who are concerned. So even though they were having sex, they couldn't have babies, those 2. Of the 36 members of the Colt family, only Tim had no signs of inbreeding, and rather interestingly, Charles II of Spain was significantly less inbred than any of Tim and June's descendants. So keeping it in the family might have helped the bloodline stay pure, but it's a short-term solution, and let's face it, it's quite frankly sick, and it is sick. It's very disgusting. But I'm going to tell you, I'll go Google it, Kimberly Colt. Go look it up. In addition, it cannot be sustained for very long and often has horrific consequences that make life hard and possibly unbearable in the end. Frankly, I think I would rather be a clone than an offspring of Tim and June. Yeah, I would agree. I would so agree. So it says the Colt family tree and Kimberly Colt. And here's some pictures. Look at this shit. It just turns my stomach. Another example of inbreeding is the Melungeons of Appalachia from Virginia, America. I have seen this mentioned before, but it wasn't until my friend Trisha Ireland sent me some very interesting information, and I became intrigued. I will end this chapter with a story, a true tale of inbreeding that was haunted people in the area since as far back as the 1500s. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of the inbreeding comes from parasites. People get cancer and they go to the medical profession. They tell you got a mass. They do a biopsy. What happens? It spreads throughout the body. But what it really is it's freaking parasites. And there have been doctors that have come out and and spoke about this in the holistic community. But everybody wants to run to the allopathic community and continue to be treated because they're not going to cure the disease in your body. They're going to give you a synthetic. They're going to write you a pill. They're going to have you to go take chemo. You're not a survivor of cancer. You're a survivor of freaking treatments. You're a survivor of parasites. Here's the story, and then we're going to wrap it up. I know I've been raw today, and I apologize for anybody who's offended by my mouth and offended by my frankness, but I can't be no other way. I'm being myself. And it's just quite disturbing, and it's very disheartening to know there are a lot of people still walking around here stuck on stupid. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm going to have to get off these platforms. Because the more I scroll and the more I see stupid ass shit, I'm just like, wow. Come on, brain of destruction. Get rid of these dumb fucks. I'm sorry. I'm being 100% real. Majority of these people don't even need to have oxygen in this dome. I'm telling you. They're the problem. Not all, not all, not all. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I never said I was. But when you see that there's a problem, and if you don't try to course correct it and self correct yourself, but you run around telling everybody else what to do, what does that say about you? I mean, really, what does that say about you as an individual, as a sentient being? Can you even call yourself sentient at that point? If you're not working on yourself and not staying true to self and trying to reconnect with the creator of all, then what is your purpose? What purpose are you serving? I'm just going to tell you. Here's a story. Deep in the Appalachian hollows, there is a name spoken only in hushed tones, Melungeon. It is not a people, not a place, but something darker, something tangled in the roots of those cursed mountains. No one knows exactly where they came from. Some say they were the remnants of the old Portuguese sailors who strayed too far inland, their blood mixing with the savages and the slaves until something unnatural took shape. There again, they pushing that slave shit. I keep telling y'all, we were never slaves on this damn soil. We have always been prisoners of war. I could not find all them damn slave ships with all these people that they say they brought over here. The shit don't add up. I'm a tax accountant. I do fucking math for a living. It doesn't add up. They're telling us a bunch of bullshit. And if you would do your research and get off the damn phone for once and stop looking at Desperate Housewives and The Bachelorette and fucking sports games and actually pick up a book, you would know that. Just going to tell you. Yeah, and I'm talking to that person who sent that message to me, but we're not even going there right now. So, something unnatural took shape. Inbreeding, yes. A reptilian, yeah, possibly. Interdimensional shape-shifting bloodlust, yeah, most definitely. So, others whisper of the lost colony, those doomed settlers who vanished into the wilderness, not slaughtered, but absorbed into something older, something that was already waiting in the hills. Yeah, it still waits. It still waits. And it still craves blood. Yeah. What is known is that they were different. Their skin was neither black nor white, their eyes too light or too dark, their faces sharp with the echoes of 100 lost bloodlines. They kept to themselves, lurking in the deep valleys where the sun barely touched the ground. There among the twisted trees, their family grew inward, each generation smaller and stranger and more wrong. The outsiders who stayed too close told stories of unnatural things. Children were born with 6 fingers or no eyes at all. Voices that echoed through the woods long after the speaker was gone. Of bodies found drained of blood and left in the creek beds, their blood staining the water like rust. I'm telling you what it is. It is something that has been here long ago. People want to call it a vampire. I'm going to tell you, it's a different species. It's reptilian. And I'm not even going to blame the reptilians. There's other shit besides the reptilians that's here. So, yeah, these things mixed in with the quote unquote mankind. And yet the Melungeons survived, not through trade, not through work, but through something else, something they required: fresh blood, new faces, strangers who would never be seen again. It was said that in the dead of night, they came down from the hills and would take what they needed: a child, a woman, a man, foolish enough to walk alone on a forgotten road, and drag them back into the blackness of their world. And that's the end of that chapter. And again, you know what? Shout out to Chief Redwolf, 7 Grams, West Side, Original Lone Wolf, Millennials Best, Sharon, Carrie, a lot of y'all. I appreciate y'all support. And I hope that my thought is for me not to offend people, but I'm being 100% real when I say this stuff. I mean, I'm saying it to be 100% factual and truthful, but I'm also saying it in love. We gotta either shit or get off the pot, y'all. I'm serious. I mean, we're out of time. We don't have any more time left. We're in a holding pattern right now. Like, you on a 747, you done lost 2 engines. You have 3. You lost 2 engines. You barely stand up and you get ready to come down. You know you're going to take a crash landing. Shout out to my family UPS for the pilots that passed away and the families on the ground, people on the ground. A horrible, horrible, traumatic accident. But I'm using that in a as a scenario. You know you're getting ready to go down, the ship's sinking and you going down, and you just in a holding pattern, and you got only a short period of time to survive what's coming or to prepare what's coming. You may not survive it, but you're going to transcend. And so that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus our intention on ascension and being the best version of ourselves. And, you know, I am sorry if I offended my light skinned, pale skinned brothers and sisters, quote unquote. You know, I don't do crayon colors, but at this point, I would be like flabbergasted. I would have to go seek the information out for myself, and I'd have to be able to go to museums and take trips and vacations specific for the purpose of going to these museums to see this shit on record, to know that, yeah, everything I've been taught is bullshit. Like these melanated people, dark-skinned people were really the ones behind all this shit. And yeah, we were created at some point. So what do I do with that? I mean, when you start to learn certain things, you question everything you've been taught. And that's what I'm telling you, you got to let go of everything. But I mean, it's not for me to tell you what you need to do. I'm just giving you some friendly advice. You know, I have work to do on myself, and I'm doing it. I mean, I'm walking the walk and not just talking, and I'm doing it, and it's difficult and it can be a challenge. So my point of is just sharing the information and trying to keep it on a positive note. And the positive thing I can tell you guys is I appreciate your support. We are eternally bonded. And truly, when I say to you, it's no accident that you're seeing this video and that we've interacted with each other, whether we went to school together at one time, whether we met through social media, whether we worked together, whether you're a family member, or a former coworker, an acquaintance, or what have you. I'm not saying these things to be mean. I'm saying it in love. I mean, it's my perception, and it is a deception out there. And you really got to study and see things for what they are. A lot of people will have a problem with this. A lot of people will say, oh, it's a great story. It's fantastical. I'm just going to simply say, those people are a fucking Cabbage Patch. I mean, do they really have the mindset and the wherewithal? Like a gentleman was telling me, oh, well, I know that the melanated people were here before, but they wanted something that was created that was smarter, that was that could run things and take over things and do things more so than the melanated people. Now, he didn't come out just saying that, you know, black people ain't shit. He didn't say that. He just simply said that his race was superior. And I'm just like, but you came from us, so how can you be superior? But, you know, I didn't argue with that individual. I let him have it because I'm just like, there's no point in me harboring with it. There's no point in me arguing with a Cabbage Patch clone ass fucker. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, either you know or you don't. So when I look at people, I look at them and go, that's a damn Cabbage Patch. That mug don't even know who the hell he is. Better not, don't even know his bloodline. And he probably can't go back but maybe 3 generations. He can't go back 7, 10, 15, 20 like I'm doing, right? He can't do that because he was created in a lab and his offspring only goes so far. I mean, his bloodline only goes back so far. So he's not going to be able to have the records. And that's fine. I'm not going to argue with people that don't have the knowledge that I have. I'm not even going to argue with people who don't even do the work. They don't even take the time to go research shit. And then for me, as a personal side note, it's like we need to learn how to love one another, but the ignorance and the stupidity, I ain't got no time for that shit. I really don't. It's like the more you learn, the more you grieve, and the more you really see how the situation is dire, and it is deeply disturbing and troubling to know that the majority of these people walking around here, they're not going to be here within 5 years. They're not. They're literally in the dark with their eyes blindfolded, and they're bumping around in the dark like this. And they think once they take the blindfold off and they see a patch of light, they're going to walk outside and everything's going to be okay. No, it's not. And I'm not going to try to rain on your parade or pee piss on your parade or anything like that. But you got to understand that this is all going to come to an end because they've done this before. Like, this is nothing new. The reset is happening. and there are going to be more people that are going to be unalived in the next 5 years because of the happy sauce injections and them turning up the 5G. Now they've got 10G. I was reading something on that. All this is military grade weaponry, and they have this system in place within these ice walls. All right. They have a system in place, and they're going to continue to do this full steam ahead. Is because we can't come together as one creative collective consciousness, right? It doesn't matter if you're a Cabbage Patch or a fucking clone. If you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and you can't trace your genealogy, and you know your blood type is not O or A, or O positive or O negative or A positive or A negative, then you already know that you from something else. You've been created, and it's fine. But there are some people out there who are clones and who are Cabbage Patch that generally are good people, and I'm not saying they're not. I'm talking about that small percentage of dumb racist fucks who are running around here in their great superiority and their whiteness, and they have no idea that they're a knockoff. That's what I'm saying. And they'll have a hard time with that. I mean, the average people, whether you light skin or dark skin, I don't have a problem with those people. What I have an issue with is the stupidity that's running around here on our soil. Like, I have maps that say this soil, the Americas, from Canada, here in the U.S. is Central America, and South America is further down. All of that was Negroes. And all around the freaking planet was Negro. But my thing is, yeah, this was supposed to be an experiment when they created these groups of people, and this phenotype was brought in. But now you've got an infestation within that phenotype that specifically has been inbred and came from these mountains, who walk around here, who have the technology from these other things that are around us. And now they're running amok, messing up everybody. Doesn't matter what you are. You could be a clone Cabbage Patch, but you're going to get it too. And you're a thoughtness, you're melanated, you're going to get it too. They're going to eliminate it. But the thing about it is, they can't kill us all, but I'm going to tell you why. If they do, they won't have control over the stone anymore. They won't be able to live. See, they've been promised things, and they've been shown certain things that the average people like you and I don't see. So they think that they're safe, but they're really not. And that's what I'm telling you. We as a collective need to come together, right? I have love for all of humanity, even these damn reptilians walking around here, because not all of them are bad. I'm not going to say that. And I may come across being this angry, female who doesn't like any no, I'm not like that at all. I'm a loving person, a caring person. I just don't like stupid ass people, and I don't like to have arguments with people who don't know the shit that I know, because I'm like talking to a wall there, because you haven't read and you don't study. So what are you telling me? Well, you're telling me your opinion. And true enough, they say, if you want to hide something from someone, you put it in a damn book, and then you hide it in plain sight. Got to remember the George Orwellian factor, like Chief Red Wolf said. Every book has been rewritten. Every painting has been changed. They've whitewashed everything to serve a narrative, to serve a purpose. My point is, if I was light skinned, I'd be hella mad right now. I'd be like, fuck this shit. I got to get my shit together. I got to ascend. I got to change up my diet. I got to change up these people I'm dealing with, even family members. If they're not on my level, fuck them. I mean, I need to know what I need to do to save myself and to possibly save my direct family members. And in the course, if I pick up a few good friends or new friends who are on the like-minded vibe as me, then all the better for us to come together. All right. So what if we were here first? It doesn't matter. The melanated people were here first. But I'm going to tell you, if you really go back and you look at the books and the text, the reptilians were here first. These fuckers, along with the Atlanteans, who were dark-skinned people, created a race of beings. I'm just going to tell you. So, I mean, what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with a lot of deception, and we're dealing with a lot of people, a lot of different cast of characters And I'm not trying to project this out on you all. I'm just explaining to you all. You have to do your research. You have to read. You have to go see it for yourself. You have to read the text. But I'm telling you that we need to focus inwardly and turn that anger that I felt, and that rage and the anger and the just the overall hatred that I had after I learned out the truth. I focused that inwardly and started focusing on myself, because I want to elevate my knowledge, elevate my understanding, and utilize that for the betterment of myself and the betterment for the people who are directly around me, right? So I hope that makes sense. I don't know how long I've been on here. I know I've said a lot. I know I've given you a lot to think about. Again, not everybody's going to agree with what I'm saying, and that's fine. Majority of people won't even watch this video. That's fine too. If I offended someone, I'm sorry, but oh well. This is me. I am Baby Girl Slaughter. Sentient One, Carolyn Denise. That's me, baby. I ain't gonna change. I'm saying in love, we need to get our shit together. It don't matter what color you are. We need to get our shit together because we're out of time. I mean, if you're not stocking and you're not prepping and you're truly not meditating, grounding, fasting, doing breath work, yoga, tai chi, reading, researching, spending time with yourself, spending time with the creator of all, who is you. Okay. You are God incarnate, and spending time with your family. What are we doing? I mean, what are we really doing? If you know that you're an infinite being, what do you do with infinity? You learn and you grow. You cultivate. You build relationships with other people. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this for the last time. I appreciate you all for being here and supporting me. I feel I am eternally bonded with you all. We made an agreement before we came into these bodies, baby. And I know some of you going to be rubbed the wrong way, but I'm saying it in love. It is what it is. Shit or get off the pot. It is time for us to train like there is no tomorrow, because we don't have another opportunity. This is it. This is the big finale. This is it. This is the last reset. There will be no more resets after this one. This is it. So this is a giant push. Women, when you getting ready to have the baby and the doctor tells you bear down one last time and push, this is what we need to do. We need to be bearing down, and we need to push our shit till we can't push anymore, and then push again. Because we're going to have to face the fact that there are some negative entities on this plane of existence with us that want nothing more to destroy us. And it doesn't matter if you're quote unquote black or quote unquote white. They don't care about that. They don't want none of us here. So when you come to terms with that shit and realize you've been batting or playing for the wrong team, you need to snap about your coma and do what you need to do to become centered and grounded. All right. Just going to tell you. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me. You be the change you want to see all around this plane of existence, because it's up to you and I to make that positive change. When I come back, we're going to go over Squirrel Tribe. Shout out to her. We're going to go over her 70-day preparedness checklist. And then I also want to get back into, you know who, the reptilians, murder of reality, hidden symbolism of the dragon, and alien world order. Couple that with the fall of Tartary. And I am going to be pulling up information on my laptop to discuss with you guys on clones and on some of the things that I found that were interesting. Not a lot of information. It's going to be a short presentation. It's not going to be as long as this. Maybe 15, 20 minutes at that. Okay. I'm just going to keep it short and keep it sweet. But for those of you who've been here, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys soon.